You're listening to the Core Factors audio library, spoken versions of Core Factors articles and research. This piece is titled Coaching in the Flow of Work: How EQ Transforms Real-Time Development. The following narration preserves the original content and context of the written article.
Coaching in the Flow of Work: How EQ Transforms Real-Time Development. The best coaching rarely happens in a conference room or during an annual review. It happens in the middle of the workday, between meetings, during a quick check-in, or while solving a problem. These spontaneous conversations are where learning takes root and performance improves. In many organizations, development is still treated as something separate from daily work. Programs are scheduled, courses are logged, outcomes are tracked. But the moments that matter most, the daily exchanges between leaders and teams, often go unnoticed. That is beginning to change. According to ATD's State of the Industry 2025, formal learning hours have dropped 21% year over year, even as expectations for rapid skill growth continue to climb. The message is clear. Learning now happens in the flow of work. This shift demands a new kind of leadership grounded in emotional intelligence. Real-time coaching depends on awareness, empathy, and composure. Leaders must read the moment, regulate their responses, and help others grow in real time. Emotional intelligence turns everyday interactions into opportunities for development. The rise of in-the-moment development. The pace of work no longer allows for long learning cycles. Teams must adapt quickly. Leaders must develop talent while meeting business demands. Three forces are driving the shift toward coaching in the flow of work: time scarcity. Managers and teams have less time for formal training, but more opportunities for daily feedback. Hybrid and digital work. Coaching now occurs through video calls, messages, and asynchronous collaboration. Skill acceleration. Artificial intelligence and automation are changing job requirements faster than traditional programs can adjust. Deloitte's Global Human Capital Trends 2025 notes that high-performing organizations are moving from learning programs to learning cultures, where coaching and feedback are part of daily operations. McKinsey's HR Monitor 2025 echoes this shift, showing that adaptability now depends on leaders who can guide growth moment by moment. Many managers understand coaching in principle, but struggle to apply it under pressure. The difference between good and great coaching is not technical skill. It is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, the foundation of coaching agility. Real-time coaching depends on emotional balance. A leader cannot offer useful guidance if frustration, stress, or bias shapes the conversation. The ability to pause, notice, and respond intentionally defines emotionally intelligent coaching. Core Factors EQ Accelerator measures and develops this capability through 4 interdependent quadrants of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness, recognizing how emotions influence tone, timing, and delivery. Self-regulation, managing those emotions to stay constructive under pressure. Other awareness, reading others' emotional signals and adjusting approach accordingly. Other engagement, turning insight into action by asking, listening, and responding in ways that move performance forward. Each quadrant supports a key element of effective coaching. Self-awareness prevents defensiveness. Regulation ensures calm responses. Other awareness builds empathy and trust. Engagement transforms understanding into dialogue and accountability. DDI's Global Leadership Forecast 2025 found that leaders who demonstrate these competencies achieve higher coaching effectiveness and stronger engagement outcomes. Emotional intelligence makes continuous development possible because it enables leaders to coach without waiting for the right moment. From feedback to forward momentum. Traditional feedback often focuses on evaluation. Emotionally intelligent coaching focuses on progress by turning insight into action. Gallup's research shows that employees who receive frequent, meaningful feedback are 3 times more likely to be engaged. Yet many employees describe feedback as infrequent or unclear. Sharham's State of the Workplace 2025 found that, while 73% of organizations want managers to act as coaches, only 7% feel they have achieved that goal. The gap lies in execution. A simple and effective structure for emotionally intelligent coaching is the what so, what now, what model, what. Describe the situation or behavior objectively without judgment. So what? Explore its impact on results, relationships, or emotions. Now what? Identify a forward action or next step. This structure keeps feedback grounded and constructive. It helps both leader and employee reflect on meaning before moving to action. EQ accelerator data can reveal where leaders naturally excel or struggle in this process. For example, those high in awareness but low in engagement may observe well but avoid difficult conversations. Coaching agility comes from balancing all three steps consistently. Building a coaching culture with EQ. Sustaining coaching in the flow of work requires more than individual skill. It takes a culture that rewards curiosity and learning. Emotional intelligence creates that environment by normalizing open dialogue and reducing fear around feedback. In cultures shaped by empathy and awareness, feedback is expected rather than avoided. Leaders listen actively. Employees ask questions freely. Mistakes are treated as learning opportunities. The American Psychological Association's Work in America 2025 report links psychological safety to higher learning agility. Workplace Options, Psychological Safety and Well-Being Study 2025 found that supportive environments reduce stress and increase engagement. Deloitte's research reinforces this connection. Organizations that elevate coaching as a core leadership capability outperform peers in innovation and retention. When emotional intelligence guides leadership behavior, coaching becomes a daily habit instead of a scheduled event. For practitioners, integrating EQ into coaching systems. For learning and talent professionals, emotional intelligence offers the framework and measurement tools needed to make coaching part of everyday work. Real-time development is not informal, it is integrated. Practical steps to embed EQ into coaching systems include: assess readiness. Use EQ accelerator data, particularly self-regulation and other engagement, to identify coaching strengths and gaps. Train emotional awareness. Include micro-learning on empathy, composure, and curiosity in leadership development. Reinforce reflection. Encourage teams to use the what so, what now. What structure after major projects or feedback moments to normalize reflection. Enable feedback loops. Pair leaders for peer coaching focused on real scenarios rather than theory. Measure cultural change. Track shifts in feedback frequency, engagement, and retention as evidence that emotionally intelligent coaching is taking hold. When EQ frameworks are built into the daily rhythm of work, development becomes constant. Coaching shifts from a calendar event to a cultural norm. Real-time growth requires real emotional intelligence. Technology may enable coaching platforms and analytics, but emotional intelligence drives human development. The leaders who thrive in this environment are emotionally agile mentors who can guide growth in real time. As organizations face faster change and greater complexity, sustained learning will depend on leaders who coach with awareness and empathy. Emotional intelligence turns everyday interactions into catalysts for growth, transforming performance conversations into moments of clarity, confidence, and connection. Through tools like the EQ Accelerator, Core Factors helps organizations measure and strengthen the emotional capabilities that power continuous learning. Coaching becomes not a scheduled activity, but a way of leading every day.
This concludes the audio version of this Core Factors article, and you can read the full written version and explore related research at corefactors.com.